Look how many trends we got. I'll tell you why, because there are no newspapers today. So we got lots of time to talk about the trending topics this morning. So yeah, SK, you want to kick us off? The first one is Zuma. That was the first one there.
Well, Zuma, of course, for various reasons. The former president, of course, has been in the news all of this week with MK Party and what's been happening there, but also with regard to his own court cases with that Billy Downer case still going on against Billy Downer and Karen Moore, and another loss in that regard happening yesterday, and of course the IEC making an announcement that he was one of those on the list that they had received objections against.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had upheld it, and it was because of that 15-month sentence that he got at the Zondo Commission for contempt. Remember, he was sentenced to 15 months imprisonment without the option of a fine. So that is basically why that was upheld by the IEC. But of course, the party will then have, I think it's 2 days or so, or however many days, to respond to that.
All right, so Zuma, big trending topic, lots around that one. Muria, also massive at the moment. In fact, that's jumping up to one of the top trends this morning, and of course will be, because obviously this is the annual pilgrimage to Muria, and you'll find there's so many people going down to Limpopo, and this is a time of worship. But at the same time, also with this trend is a very sad topic that's with it, is that bus accident that we were talking about. It was the crash on the Matlakala mountain pass between Mokopane and Marken in Limpopo, where 45 worshippers were killed. Terrible bus accident. Obviously there's big investigations as to what the cause was behind this, but the story is that the bus lost control and fell off the bridge and caught on fire.
It's also the first time since 2020 that the pilgrimage is taking place again.
Yeah. During COVID, we remember those times very, very well. At this time, when it was completely called off and told, please, this is not something you can do. But here it is, back in full force, and unfortunately, this is it. An 8-year-old. That's the quite miraculous story about an 8-year-old
sole
was
survivor,
injured and being airlifted to hospital. I mean, imagine that. It's always...
Apparently, he fell out of the bus as it was falling.
Oh man, our deepest sympathies to the family and friends of this tragic accident. But that is, that's the Muria trend on this Good Friday morning.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move to the next one. Ekurhuleni, we had that story in the news. Yeah. Quite a lot going on in Ekurhuleni, and this motion of no confidence has been some time in the making. So, Ekurhuleni is set to have a new mayor, but also interesting, all the political machinations there with people breaking rank from the party, whippery, and doing things that they were not told to do, or taking orders not happening for some members of the ANC at least. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the vote for the next mayor.
All right, so Ekurhuleni stealing the spotlight now for many days on the trends, and for those you're in, you're out kind of reasons. So Ekurhuleni, we'll watch you, see what goes on there. Let's perhaps celebrate e-tolls. It's final. It's finally over. It's been gazetted now. So there is the paper. That's what we were waiting for, that signature, and that it's finally now been gazetted. E-tolls are no more. That's SANRAIL ending on the 11th of April. That's the date now that's been given, and the government gazette was put out. The Transport Minister signed it and said there will no longer be toll routes anymore. That's the Gauteng Improvement Project. So the government say that they're still working on how they're going to use those whole the gantries and what they're going to be used for. So we knew this was coming. We didn't know when, and this has been
we did know when.
Battle. Well,
Panyaza Lesufi sat there and he told us
that
he had already signed off on this.
We just needed it to be gazetted, though.
Yeah, so but he had already signed off at that time.
Yeah.
He did say, come the end of this month, those gantries will be turned off.
Yeah. Well, we're still waiting 11 days, though. It's the 11th of April. We're waiting. But anyway, so that's it, though. It's been gazetted, so there's no turning back now. So, Yeah, this was the story of a nation sticking together, saying we will not pay, and all the objections and everything that went with it. And here we go, finally, after many, many, many years, victory to South Africans for that one.
This is true, but we shouldn't fool ourselves into thinking that the debt just, miraculously disappears. It doesn't. We will still pay for it.
Oh, of course.
Just not directly as was the proposed model.
Yeah.
But money will be taken from somewhere in these Gauteng coffers to pay for that.
So those numbers, National Treasury takes over 70% of the debt owed on the e-tolls project. Gauteng takes over 30%, which works out to about 13 billion rand. So, as you say, SK, we're still paying.
Yeah.
We're still paying.
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
It's just not when you go under that blue light that there's a beep. So that's not how you're paying. You're paying in every other way. But yeah, let's not go into it. Let's celebrate a little thing that we have got here. Okay, there we go. It's been gazetted. E-tolls, no longer. Dale Steyn, here we go. Okay.
Right, let's put up the tweet.
Okay.
That started it all.
Yeah, let's start off where it all started going wrong here.
So, of course, former South African cricket great, Dale Steyn, he put up this tweet. And it said, Mapaka realizing the difference between under-19 and the Pro League. Baptism of fire. Mm-hmm. And that got the ball rolling. As you can see there, 906,000 views.
Sure. And it's bumped up even more now.
That was way when.
Yeah.
And it has just snowballed from there.
Yeah. So many people just not happy with that, saying like, hang on a second, Dale Steyn, this is, instead of cheering this incredible young man, Kwena Mapaka, he sort of came out and gave out, a thing. So basically, this young man has become the third youngest overseas cricketer to play in the Indian Premier League. And it's the beginning of his career, which is what people are saying. He is doing unbelievably well. It is tough, but this is now a response from somebody else to that tweet.
Yeah, Dwayne Bravo is a West Indian player who says, keep your head up, champ. Kwena Mapaka, I'm sure you will definitely bounce back, and don't let this one game, this one-off game make you start to doubt yourself. It's a great challenge for you, and you will only get better as the tournament goes on. And people are saying this is what Dale Steyn should have said,
as opposed to like, now you know what it feels like. Not under 19, is it? Yeah.
And there's another one from Ian Bishop, another West Indian great. And Ian Bishop said, tough beginnings for Kwena Mapaka last night. Remember, he's only 17 years old. With the right people around him, this experience taken in the right way should make him stronger.
Yeah.
And people are saying, Dale, that is how you respond to that situation. You encourage the young man.
Absolutely. But then, of course, what happens is, after all of this outcry, Dale Steyn then puts another tweet out, and you did have a little bit of a see like that, a glimpse at this one. Dale Steyn saying, I woke up feeling for Kwena Mapaka today, but I know he's surrounded by some amazing people at MI, and he's going to be absolutely fine. His first experience, regardless of result or performance, should still be the most amazing cricket experience he's ever had. At just 17, it's only upwards from here. Well done, young man. But this is after an absolute outcry as to what he did say. So people are just not happy.
The bus had left the station by then. And unfortunately, this then got people to talk about Makaya Ntini, his experience with the South African cricket team, and basically likening this to what he had experienced, saying some things just never change.
Well, all right. So let's move on to another trend now. So as you can see, we got time. We've got lots to talk about on this Good Friday morning. And the next trend is, of course, Israel. So this one, look, it's a trend that's not going to go anywhere, but certainly one that Israel is now on going under. There's lots of reports of them bombing in Syria. There's bombing happening. Obviously, we did report on that in southern Lebanon as well. And still, I watched a piece on Al Jazeera yesterday.
Did you watch that one?
No, not the one you told me. I was watching another one. In fact, I tuned in because I wanted to see what you saw. But this was one about two people walking on a beach. I don't know if you saw that one. It was there were two men trying to get home on a beach in Palestine, and what had happened was the Israeli forces drove up to them in their big armored tanks, shot them at close range, and then covered them. This is all footage that Al Jazeera had got.
I saw that one.
And they buried them in the rubble on the beach to try and hide what had happened. It sent chills down my spine. So anyway, that was just one thing that I picked up yesterday, but there's a lot on that trend as well.
Yeah, so the latest here, like from Richard Medhurst reporting 6 minutes ago now, Israelis bombing Syria, 38 people massacred in Aleppo. So this is going on currently. That's what's happening.
Oh man, all right. So anyway, okay.
And also on that one, just a quick one.
Okay.
Ireland have announced that they will join South Africa in the genocide case filed against Israel before the International Court of Justice.
All right, there we go. So that's the Israel trend. And then finally, let's end it on a high note, because Beyonce is stealing the headlines. She is. I don't know, SK, if it's driving your timeline insane, but it is on mine. She dropped her album. So this is now what is out there. Everybody's talking about Cowboy Carter. It's the first country album that Beyonce has ventured into. And I love the first track, I have to tell you. I absolutely love it. I do. I haven't listened to the album. In fact, I opened it up and I can see it's there on Spotify, so I'm dying to hear it. But that's what everyone's talking about, Cowboy Carter.
Yeah, I must tell you, I've been anticipating this one simply because it's a country album.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Huge. It's a huge thing. And as people are saying, a brave move. But if anybody could do it, Beyonce is the one. All right, there's your trends. Let's wrap it up. There we go. Beyonce ending off our trending on this Friday morning.
Indeed. All right.